name is Meg Yardley. I'm a member of Hand in Hand, the Domestic Employers Association. I live in Oakland and I have a 2-year-old daughter. My partner and I both work part-time, and we're the domestic employers of a nanny who cares for our daughter in a part-time nanny share arrangement with other families. When we first joined a nanny share in our neighborhood, we didn't really understand that we were becoming employers. Luckily for us, the other families that were in our share kind of passed on to us the expected norms of what to do and what were kind of the fair practices of how to treat, of how to pay and how to kind of do the right thing by our nanny. But without that, we would have been totally at sea with, wondering, do we still pay the nanny when she's sick? When someone leaves the nanny share, how much advance notice do they give the nanny? And a lot of times we would only think of these questions at the last minute, like we'd be like, oh my God, the baby has a fever, and which one of us is going to stay home and take care of her? And by the way, are we supposed to still pay the nanny? And trying to figure all of this out. Or sometimes we would send late night emails to other families in the share, like, are you giving the nanny a holiday tomorrow? What are you doing? So sometimes when I had a question like this, I would ask the nanny directly, what she expected us to do. And the conversation was always really awkward. We would be speaking kind of vague language. I was, trying not to, offend her, to suggest something that would be unfair. And I'm sure that she was trying to ask for what she expected, but without risking her position and her job. So I think that having clear legal guidelines for what was expected of us would have helped us not only to understand what to do, but really to make it very clear why we should do it. Because it's the right thing, that the workers in our home should be treated well so that they can do the important work that they do. The workers in our home should receive the same protections that we receive when we're at work. We want to provide the best working environment possible for the people taking care of our child. It's really great that the families in my nanny share have, fair practices toward their nannies, but our nannies shouldn't have to count on people just happening to be nice and happening to be well-informed and fair. Even though most employers are well-meaning, they're well-intentioned, but this is our first time being someone's employer. We don't really understand what it means or what's required of us. By the time we have it all figured out, our child is probably ready to go to preschool and the nanny is not going to be looking for a new job. I also want to say that as a feminist, I don't believe that I, as a middle-class white woman in a professional job, should get sick days, paid leave, and vacation, while the person who's making it possible for me to do those things, who's an immigrant woman of color, might not necessarily receive those same benefits. I believe that it's critically important that caregiving work be valued. This kind of work is usually done by women and is seen as a low-skilled job. Nothing could be further from the truth. I can assure you as a mother, and I'm sure many of you who are parents also know, that taking care of a young child all day is one of the hardest jobs that there is.
Hello.
So the people doing this difficult and vital work should really receive the same protections available to all other workers. And this is why we need a Bill of Rights, to protect domestic workers and to help create an ethical and just world for employers and employees together. Thank you.